It's summer, and you know what that means. It's hot, we're sweating, but you gotta sweat some more.
You gotta sweat a lot. Oh, you're right.
I'm Lala.
And I'm Mimi.
So today we have something different. We are wanting to start a new series for beginners that are trying to change their life. So summertime means everybody's trying to get a beach body. But again, everybody's a beach body. People are trying to get in shape, trying to tone up, so they can feel more confident in themselves when they go to the beach or wherever it is. Or just
in everyday life, so you can run to your car
Run
and
to
you're
your
not out of
car,
breath.
so you can hide from the sun.
Go up those stairs without passing out, you know? Yeah. Lifestyle changes.
Yeah, so again, it's a lifestyle change. It's not something that you do a 30-day challenge and you'll be like super fly and you can
Forever and ever.
Yeah, and then you can go back to your old habits and you'll still remain the same. No. It's a whole lifestyle change. It takes a lot. But we are wanting to bring you some tips, some advice to get you started.
Or restarted, as myself has done many times, and I'm sure everyone's guilty of this. But there's always ways to go back, and hopefully we can bring tips and advice that have worked for us that can make this really be a lifestyle change where you can stick to it for longer periods of time, or just for the rest of the periods of times.
Yeah, the beginning stages are always the hardest, so we're just trying to make it that be easier for you so that you can get into the routine of things, and getting into a routine is what's going to make you stick.
Now, I still consider myself beginner stages of gym going. I don't know what you call it. Not to say that I just started going to the gym last week and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I do get a lot of help from Lala because she's been doing this for a couple years now, and she's been really good at sticking to it and really gaining a lot of knowledge. So these are tips that we together came up with and thought were, the top 10 tips to really take with you that have helped her in the beginning and that continue to help me and
me as well. I still use these tips all the time, but they also did help me in the beginning. And we used to have a personal trainer for a couple of months, so we learned a lot of things from him.
I feel like these tips and this mini series that we're going to be doing, where we're going to be uploading a lot of things, workouts and just tips and advice for beginners, and as our journey goes, we'll be adding more to it, is really helpful if you can't afford a personal trainer. I don't know how we did it, but personal trainers are fairly expensive. So, if you don't have time, if you don't have the money, then this is a great way to kind of just start off to see how far you can go on your own.
So again, we just want to put out there that we're not any professionals in the health and fitness realm. These are just things that we've learned, so don't bash us on something. Feel free to comment anything that we say wrong. We're still in the learning process.
Yeah.
We would love to learn more.
Constructive criticism.
Please.
Constructive. Not that we've gotten any bad comments yet, but
Yeah.
Burn. Last thing before this intro becomes
The whole video.
If you like this kind of video, tips and advice on fitness, whatever, if you want to keep seeing videos like this, then please give us a big fat thumbs up. Okay. And subscribe to our channel so that we know that you guys are watching. And also, if you want to follow us on any other social media platform like Twitter. Twitter. Like Twitter. Like Twitter, Snapchat. What's the other one?
Instagram.
And Instagram. All of those are Mimi and Lala.
And they'll in the
10:05.
and they'll
And they will be on the description below too. We will begin our tips and tricks. Just kidding, not tips and tricks. We will begin
10
our 10 tips for gym beginners.
So our first tip is to try workouts at home if you're not comfortable doing them at the gym. This is something that I still do today. I, for example, wasn't too comfortable doing hip thrust at the gym. I mean, who is? It's a very it's not cute. But it's really, really good for the glutes. Let me tell you, your glutes will burn. You'll feel
I'm
the
sore today.
change. So I would really highly recommend to put them into your leg workouts. But if you're not comfortable like I was, try it at home in your room, locked by yourself. That's what I did. I first tried it on the floor, which you'll see some clips of me trying, as I did when I did first tried it. To get yourself, your mind used to that movement, and then when you go to the gym, you feel more comfortable. You can actually, use either barbells or the machine. We used a machine that wasn't for hip thrust, but it works pretty great because it does have a big old padding, because once you start going heavier with the weight on the hip thrusts, it starts hurting your pelvis, and of course you want to be careful in that area. So we showed doing it on the leg press, the one that works out your quads. We kind of just set it up, and you can go as heavy as you would like and just adjust yourself to where you feel it in your glutes. You could also just do it with any just dumbbell or with the plate, whatever you feel, or even with no weight at all. You'll still feel it.
Wonderful. It can also just help you with your form to kind of get the form right. Because the second tip we have, I didn't know until recently. Always activate the muscle that you are planning to work on. For example, we did legs yesterday, so we made sure to activate our glutes. So it's also important, a little extra tidbit to that is to stretch beforehand. So make sure you stretch your legs if you're working out your legs. Make sure you stretch out your arms, your back, whatever.
Also, if you just do leg workouts without activating and you never feel it in your glutes, it's probably because you haven't activated. Where we live a very sedentary life, unfortunately, we're not as active as we should be. So our glute muscles are sleeping. And that's why we have to activate them if you're wanting to grow that. If you're wanting to, say, for your back to grow the lats so that you can have more of an hourglass figure. So that's these muscles back here, the lats. You'd also want to activate those. So it's just what muscle you want to put emphasis in and that you've never felt before. Tip number 3 is to contract your muscle when you're working out. So we're going to show some clips of us doing the workout without contracting and with contracting, and you can see a difference. And you'd also feel a difference. So if you just work out, just trying to get through the workout, not really putting your mind, not really contracting your muscle, the one that you're trying to work out, yeah. You're not going to feel it, and you're not going to see as good of the results as if you do contract your muscle. Like, let's say, for example, you're wanting to really grow your right bicep, just your right one. But if you don't put your mind into it, it's just gonna be eh. If you put all your focus into it, you put all your strength into it, it's gonna grow. So whenever you're working out, it's not just the body that you're working out, it's your mind that you're putting into it. So that really helps.
So now with that, we have our tip number 4, which is, of course, listening to your body. So, like I said, none of this is going to happen overnight. And like Lala said, it's a lifestyle change. So you don't have to go 500% on day 1 and then expect and be disappointed when you're not getting your results. You want to listen to your body, and your body is different every single day. So you don't want to put strain on your body on a day that you're just not feeling it, or you're feeling sick, but you're saying, oh, but I always lift 500 pounds or whatever. Well, on this day, you just can't do it. So don't push yourself. And I mean, you want to push yourself because you want to always be pushing your body to be the best it can be, but you don't want to push your body to where you're getting hurt. So for example, I go with Lala, and she's at a different level than I am. So sometimes she's like, hey, there's 200 pounds on this exercise, and I'm like, I can't do that. And she looks at me like, what you mean you can't do that? And I'm like, girl, I do not have your guns. I do not have your legs, okay? I know when I'm pushing myself. Obviously, I know when I'm not pushing myself. So just listen to your body and don't compare yourself to other people.
Tip number 5 is having a gym buddy. It really does help. I started off just going by myself, and it was pretty difficult. I didn't really know what to do. I would see some videos and I would just go off it. It was really intimidating. Then I met a friend in college, and she was really into it, and she taught me some things, and we would go to the gym quite often. And I learned a lot of things from her, and I got confidence off of her. So that when you have a gym buddy, you're pushed to try new things with them. You get that confidence, like, hey, I have someone here, he's gonna do it with me. Like, yeah, I can do that movement. Like, recently my gym buddy has been this girl right here, because we have the time now to go together. And it's been really helpful. I bet for her it's been helpful, but also I bet, but also for me, because I also get that confidence boost to try new things, like I said, but also to just motivate each other and just have that good vibe in the gym.
In your workout. Which is always important, to keep the positivity going and keep pushing yourself and being like, but tip number 6 is asking for help. And it's very important to ask for help when you need it, because the machines are not always set up to your height. For example, I'm very short, so I have to adjust the machines constantly.
Tip number 7 is confidence is key. One thing you want to remember is that everyone else is focused on themselves, so you go ahead and focus on yourself. Don't let anybody intimidate you or think they're judging you. Everyone is doing themselves, so you do you, boo.
Tip number 8 is patience and determination during the process. Patience is one of the biggest keys, especially in the beginning, because the beginning is the toughest, and after 2 weeks you will either go through it and continue, or you will quit. So you need to be patient, and I think in patience, what's really important to remember is the goals that you have and how those goals will be achieved. So as I've said, and I feel like all of these tips kind of intertwine together, obviously. So you're not going to get the results that you want in 2 weeks, unless it's just like lose 2 pounds. I really want to lose 3 pounds.
You're so skinny.
And with that patience, you'll need to be determined. So determined to continue and determined to continue having patience. I just said patience like 50 times.
And you see a lot more results in the beginning because when you're losing weight, you see that a lot faster. Well, for some, you know, everybody's body's different. But there's a time when you hit a plateau, and everybody's plateau is at different stages in their journey. For mine, it was maybe like a year ago. I didn't know what to do to start seeing more from my body, and that was kind of discouraging, and I was kind of slacking off from the gym. So even at any stage, patience and determination is key. So you just keep that throughout your whole journey, and that will keep you in check for reaching your goals.
And I think especially if you decide that this is going to be a lifestyle change, that's going to really help you with your patience and determination, because with anything in life, for example, your job or whatever, you're not always going to be on the up. So you're going to have ups and downs and boring old days. So, you know, obviously you keep your patience and determination in your job because you have some kind of benefit that you like from it. So the same thing with your workouts and your eating habits.
Tip number 9 is the shoe type that you wear to the gym. Most people have like some kind of running shoe, like Nike running free shoe type. They have like a little heel, and that's good for, you know, if you're doing upper body, or if you're walking on the treadmill. If you're walking on the treadmill, if you're doing pretty lightweight stuff. I would say more for leg day when if you're wanting to focus more on the glutes and your hamstrings or certain areas. A more flat shoe would be more beneficial in that. It'll help you engage your glutes more, and it will also keep you more stabilized. Let's say if you're doing squats or deadlifts with weight, with a barbell weight. So it'll keep your feet flat, which will be keeping you in balance, and that's gonna better your form, and it's gonna be working your muscles more. Like Converse or some shoe like that's pretty close to the floor, or even working out without shoes, but of course as a beginner that might be intimidating. So Converse would be a good for leg day. So it's just a little difference if you're really wanting to work your muscles out more and have a better form.
Our last tip is very important,
Especially in this heat. Oh my God.
It is to keep hydrated, and also to breathe, because you don't want to pass out. So there might be videos, or we might actually cover how to breathe during certain exercises, but you definitely want to continue breathing. You don't want to hold your breath, because then you're going to run out of energy quicker, you're going to be lightheaded, and you're going to pass out, and
No bueno.
that's not good. Obviously keep hydrated, because you will be sweating, especially if it's really hot like it is right now. So whatever comes out needs to be put back in so that you don't get sick, and so that you can continue to flush out all the bad toxins and whatnot.
And there you have it, our 10 tips for beginners.